Welcome to the Ascent Tournament Series mainstream, everyone. Hopefully you're all doing well. Good evening, and welcome to the Apex Cup. This is our first time seeing the Apex Cup this season, and just like last season, 21 teams have entered. Just like last season, it's the exact same format for these teams to get out. So, what a matchup we have here. But a lot of new teams joining in this season, although this matchup will be a combination of old and new, as we're going to be getting to see a pretty good matchup. 100x Solis on one side, a top 8 side from last season. Lena, Blaz, and Dev, the same 3 starters for this team as they had last season, if I'm not incorrect. So, they made a pretty impressive top 8 run last season and lost out to the Wet Jets, the Whiffer Wet Jets in the quarterfinals. Now they're back this season. Sorry, no, they are slightly different. They lost Dom and Demon from last season. They added in Dev. So, only one change from last season for the Solis roster. Again, another high-seeded team. Demon, by the way, actually is also here this season, as well as Dom. I think they're both on the same team in Super Smash Brothers. No, Demon's not here, but Dom is. Dom's on the Super Smash Brothers team, so a lower-seeded team, but still very solid. So this Solis side trying to find a way to be at the top of the group again here. Again, one of the higher-seeded teams. Once again, in fact, actually, they've gone up a seed. Last season, they were the 5th seed. This season, they're the 4th seed. Very, very good team overall. On the other side, though, is our first time we get to see MishMash Gaming. This is an org that's been around for a while. I know who they are. I've known them a little bit from Blackline Championship Series, but they're pretty general movement that we're seeing this season from the Blackline Championship Series. Tons of teams from that tournament series have moved to ATS to also compete here this season. So, MishMash is one of them. The more recognizable one will be Slav Squad Nation. They have a couple teams competing this season, all of them in the Pinnacle Cup. We'll probably get to see a couple of those teams at some point this season. Again, generally, the movement, we're seeing a couple of teams that I recognize from Blackline now in ATS for their first time. Again, MishMash, this happens to be their first time again, although not a new roster, with Velops, Alex, and Chilla. I can't remember the last time it's not been these 3 who have started on this team for MishMash. So, very solid overall rosters, and we're going to get into a best of soon here. But again, later tonight, we're also going to see our first view of the Pinnacle Cup. Midwest Mafia takes on the Evil Burgers. Evil Burgers, I think 2/3 of the same roster that won last season in the Apex Cup in Evil Buggers. Midwest Mafia, a very different team than what we saw last season in the Pinnacle Cup. A team that's hoping for a better result in a much tougher, much more competitive division. So, when that match happens later tonight, in about 2.5 hours, we'll get to see that one on this stream as well. That'll be a really good match to end out our evening. But for now, it is 100x Solis and MishMash Gaming. We'll get to see this match again at best of 5 shortly here. Everybody, what are you doing in the lobby in just a moment. Again, a best of 5 to start out the season. Both these teams at 0-0, but again, Solis, a relatively high-seeded team. MishMash on that middle seeding side there. 4th seed in their group. Solis, the number 2 seed in their group, only behind Torrent Galleon, who we saw recently do pretty well. Made a top 4 finish in the Paradise Cup 3 Ultimate Division. I think they lost to KCG Chaos at the end of it. Very good team. I would not be surprised to see Torrent and Solis really battling for that top spot. Other notable teams in this group, Striker Room and Gryffindor version 2. Pretty competitive group, but Apex is always known to be pretty competitive overall, so we'll see how go for these teams as we'll get shortly. Again, the match will start any moment now for this best of 5. Again, a lot of very fun teams, a lot of notable players. Back here again, Lena, who has often been talked about as an MVP caliber player in the Apex Cup. Back captain this team again. Again, I'm excited to see how things go here. Best of 5. Again, I like this Solis roster. They're fun. Got some pretty good chemistry. We'll see how it looks this season, obviously, with the new player in Dev. But again, we'll have to, we'll get to see these rosters in action soon here. As Again, I'm excited for this one. Very fun matchup. But again, we'll get this match underway momentarily. Okay, give me a moment here. Again, hopefully we'll get these teams in just a moment, so. Again, give me a moment. It seems like we're having some issues. These teams may have actually made their own lobby. And if they've made their own lobby, that's a problem. We gotta make sure that they're in the correct lobby here for this evening. So we'll get them in just a moment here. Seems like we're having some lobby issues. I think one of the teams tried to make the lobby themselves. Definitely not what's supposed to happen. Might be having some issues here. Let's see if maybe I have to just join their lobby. It might be one of those things where I have to just join their lobby. Oh. A mistake here. There we go. Now they're in. We got them in. It seems like now everybody's actually in the correct lobby here. We were only a few minutes late, so. That was a little weird, but everybody's in. Thankfully is. Dev actually. Oh wait, you know what? Dev might be demon. Dev might actually be demon. I see demons popped up. So if Dev is demon, is Dev demon? Let's see. Yeah, Dev is demon. Okay. Well, he's gonna go by Dev. He's got demon in game, but he goes by Dev. I know. It'll be fun. As also in here is Blaz, who always goes by a different name all the time. He's got Zay in the lobby. Again, he'll go by Blaz. That's the name he goes by. But I'll have a little fun here tonight with this one. Solis having a bit of fun with their usernames. So Blaz is a serial name changer, so that's always fun to get to see him. Whatever name he goes in, it's Zay tonight, I guess. But again, we'll call him Blaz. That's the name he always seems to go by, as we'll get our match underway here. So, actually, Solis have 3 players returning from last season. Dev, I didn't realize was Demon. They'll be here on the blue. MishMash Gaming, their first time in ATS. On the orange, as it's Shilla, Extralex, and Velops. Velops himself, an admin in the Blackline Championship Series, where I've basically seen this team. Every time that I've seen them play, it's been in Blackline, up until now, obviously. Their first time in ATS this season. As I said, part of the ongoing movement of a good couple of teams from Blackline that I've at least recognized from Blackline. I'm sure they play in other places. Moving to ATS for a season. We'll get to see how MishMash's season goes here as Hunter Solis. Again, we're here last season, made a top 8 finish, obviously looking for better for a lot of these long-time players. Everybody here has been around for a little while. Of course, the second season together. They have a whole season of work behind them, so pretty strong advantage for Solis in this matchup as they'll try to get things started on offense. Blaz to the back wall, in front for Lena. Will not be able to beat out Chilla, and I mentioned before Lena, who was a player that got a couple shouts last season for the regular season MVP. Obviously, we didn't have a regular season MVP last season. That will change this season, but Lena, had we had a regular season MVP award, was definitely a player who likely could have at least had a chance of getting it. She was one of the top players on a Solis roster that last season, we didn't really know if they were going to do well or not. They were a relatively new team. Although players like Blaz have been here before, proving that they were definitely a lot better than people had them for. And again, Lena was definitely a major reason why she was so good at being able just to fit into that rotation so perfectly. And being the team captain on a new team, it's always very stressful. But Lena was able to get the job done. She was consistent. She was definitely able to continuously find ways to the nets, and Solis roster is scary because that team chemistry and Lena really is in the middle of it all. As now she's got the offense going. Demon trying to tuck it under the bar. As MishMash Gaming a bit awkward on the defensive side. Extra Alex. Zay cleared back by Velops. Will be cleared back. Chilla has an open backfield, but he won't get there in time. As that ball bounces harmlessly off the back wall. Solis now will need to get this out of defenses. Blaz, no boost left. Lena's not going for this one, and it's an opportunity. MishMash Gaming put it towards net, and Lena very hesitant in that in jumping for that play. Actually gone. That's offense. That's all it's going to take, and now they're stuck on defense for a lot longer than they were hoping for. Gaming will continue to play the offense as off back wall. Chilla, second touch, won't get it, but here comes Extra. Will be kept away as Lena. They'll keep the challenges going. Demon was the sub last season. He's now been promoted this season. Was not part of their playoff run, though. They had to compete with Feed as the emergency sub. In a season last season where a lot of teams seem to have issues having all of their players available in some of their playoff matches, Solis were part of that group. Many people consider that might have been the reason why this team didn't do better. I think many people had them as at least a top 4 competitor. Again, having to play with that emergency sub really only makes things worse for you, and it usually doesn't go very well. Unfortunately for Solis, that just happened to be the case in the quarterfinals. MishMash Gaming still on the offensive. No goals yet, but this could change things! As Velops puts it off the bar and in. MishMash, again being given a lot of room right in front of that net. And again, Solis playing hesitant. MishMash Gaming eats it up, and Velops, the captain, takes goal 1. Demon. The other way, Chilla will find Extralex, and MishMash Gaming, now they got a goal. They're first in ATS, now they'll look to keep it going, but they've overcome it! And Demon the other way will not hesitate. Extralex and Velops both pushed, and Chilla turned the wrong direction, turned away from the net rather than to it, and that little adjustment, that's all that they needed. Solis just had enough room to score there. Again, one wrong move, that was what cost this MishMash Gaming team their lead. Clearly not a lead for very long. Lena will go again. Velops. Strelex will give it out as Lena's going to get out of the way here. Demon will go for Blaz as Extralex will block. Up goes Chilla. Demon with the challenge. Up the back wall. Demon! Second! Save away! Lena's a go! Save by Velops! And this ball will stay out! 2 big saves from Velops. And this game stays even. Demon flicks it. Still has boost. Lena to go! This one gets over! And 100x35 Esports are in the lead. Demon, I didn't know what he was doing for a moment there, but he absolutely breaks the axles of Velops. He can't even go for that play, and Chilla, who's waiting back, expecting the 50-50, will not be ready for the shot right in front of his net. And Solis, that team chemistry really is what makes them so good, and leading this game a couple crucial plays. Now they take the lead. MishMash Gaming, who are riding somewhat comfortably with a 1-goal advantage, now needs to rush this one. They have about half a minute, and they've got to get 1 goal. As Blaz, Extralex clears it back. Demon, it's a great first touch, and he's just going to waste so much time doing this. Waiting, the 50 from Lena will not go on target. Here goes Blaz, second touch not there. And nobody to challenge Solis. Going right back to defense as Demon will take that play. Will go again. That is straight to Extralex, though. That's going to pop on net. Blaz saves. Lena's waiting back as Chilla's shot will not test them that hard. And MishMash Gaming still trying as Chilla. It's to net. Demon saves. It's still in front. It will hit the floor. MishMash Gaming couldn't get a car on that one. And game 1 will end in favor of Solis. One game closer to winning their first match of the season. I mean, it's been a long off season for Solis, that's for certain. Sure, they've had their competitive games in between, but at least for an ATS, this is still a pretty long off season, a month to 2 months, not as long as last season's was, but definitely can really throw teams for loops. We've seen teams after one, season really struggle the next or do really well the next. Things can change quite quickly. even in that amount of time. But again, ATS definitely known for having some decently long off seasons. So for a lot of these teams coming back into this season in week 1, we don't know how good they're going to be. They may have proven a lot last season here in Solis, but it's a new season. There's a lot of new competition. While it might be the same roster, you never know how things change. Usually teams in the position that Solis are in play better in the next season, but very tough to know how they've been playing away from each other, because we've seen teams go the exact opposite. I mean, 10X, the last time we saw 10X compete was last season, and it was not a good performance. Actually, sorry, it might have been 2 seasons ago. It was not a great performance. A team that couldn't win in the regular season after winning the ATS RLSS Champions Cup before. As I don't know what happened here with Solis. It's going to be the first goal in Game 2 for MishMash Gaming's Demon. Completely missed, and Lena pushing up way too high. That's just mistake after mistake. Solis just getting a little bit ahead of themselves here. Now drop the first goal again to MishMash Gaming. Earlier in this game too, a lot more time left, but you also know there's a lot of time for MishMash to potentially come roaring to life. As again, Lena, a bit of a mistouch there, doesn't get contact on that thing, and Demon had to rush in just to keep that ball away from the net. Now Demon, that's a play that goes to the backfield, almost certainly. Don't know what's going to happen after that, as Demon will get the save. Blaz will leave that boost for Demon, and now he'll go on his own. Develops. Oh, he doesn't have this one. No boost. Demo in front. Oh, Lena missed it. It's skied over still, everybody. Demon will have it. Oh, that could have been a whole lot more detrimental. Lena wasn't ready for the bump play and completely skied this one. Boy, she'll be happy that Demon was ready for it, because that could have been a whole lot worse. As 100x Solis tie this game up, but it may not be this way for long. MishMash, oh, looking for another chance, but Demon, flicked high. Phillips whiffed! It's open, but Chilla will get there first. This game has been full of a couple of overcommit plays on the defensive side. These teams are playing so aggressively right now, with little regard to their own defensive line. In fact, it is those defensive lines that are definitely the difference right now between both these teams, because right now, so many overcommits. Is this another? Oh, that's an open net miss for Blaz. Lena will chip it high. Chilla can't get to it. Lena again. An open net miss. Still goes to the nets is Lena. But it will be saved away as in comes Blaz, who missed that open net to potentially give his team the lead here. Now has to contend with the fact that they're still attacking, as Chilla can't get through Demon. Solis really trying to use up that boost from MishMash Gaming. Won't get far with it, as they'll have to wait back. As up the sidewall, Chilla, Lena, Demon. Phillips challenged away. It's 100x Solis who are up in the offensive side, as back pass to Extralex. As he's running a booster, and Demon and Lena ran into each other there. That could have been bad, but fortunately they were moving so slowly it won't make a difference, as Lena's going to clear this one. Demon already up. That's a great redirect to the back wall. Will force Extralex up for it, and nobody would boost for Solis here. They've all got to go back quickly, as Velops. Extralex, that's in front of the net here. That's a chance to score it. Goes right off the post. Lena will clear this one out. Nobody would boost 100x Solis here. And now desperate to keep that ball away. This is where MishMash Gaming can really make things tough. Well, they won't get far with it now. Blaz with room. Not a lot of boost, but can make things happen. The fake! Open net, it's off the post. Another open net miss for Blaz. And boy, if you're Solis, that's a couple this game that you really should be taking. How many more of those do you get before MishMash Gaming finally put themselves in the lead again? Up back wall. Demon keeps it out as double commit for Solis again on low boost. They've had chances this game, they've had opportunities, and now they go asking! Extralex with the goal! And MishMash Gaming, I don't know if it's deserved, considering what Solis have done on the other side, but it definitely punishes Solis for the open nets they have not scored. MishMash lead 2-1 now. And they've done so well at removing the boost as a factor for Solis on defense. As Extralex over Demon. That's the back wall. There's a bump in front. Blaz got to be careful here. He'll get back to it in time, but that again is showing the awkwardness here from Solis. That rotation after having so much time away from ATS, maybe it's getting a little bit rusty. Smash Gaming definitely pushing them here after what was a close game 1. Also definitely meeting a pretty tough matchup here in game 2 as Blaz, Phillips, Chilla both jump in on this, and Demon has to rush back, and Velops is almost going to catch him up on that. It's Demon still, Chilla will clear it back the other way as boom for Blaz, second touch. Demon wasn't ready, not on the same page here. Lena, low boost will keep it up the back wall as Chilla to Velops. They can't score here, but they don't need to. Solis gotta go the other way as Demon fake under. It's Blaz to the back wall. Blaz puts it through with 2 ticks of the clock left. Solis on an amazing fake from Demon. Catch MishMash Gaming. And what a great play from Blaz. He knows he can't score from there, but he knows that back wall's open. And this game goes to overtime. Solis, after how many open nets they've missed this game, you really feel like their offense has shown what they're capable of. Just need to find that accuracy one last time. But MishMash not letting them get away with missing open nets here easily, that's for certain, as Demon's gonna have to get some pretty good saves there. Now in front of the net, Blaz on low boost will jump right over Chilla. Still offense here for MishMash. That's a great pass to Extralex, and there's no doubt about it. That's the game. MishMash Gaming win it in overtime. And this series is even as Lena and Demon once again running into each other. There's been a couple plays where Lena has been, unfortunately, the target of bumps from her teammates, and I don't know. And when, you get bumped as many times as Lena has this game from your own teammates, generally it's not an issue on who's bumping you, it's on the issue of the person who's getting bumped. I wonder if that rotation from Lena was not exactly the usual for Solis. Yeah, just a couple awkwardness, that rustiness here for Solis, definitely a bit on show. MishMash Gaming do well here in game 2 to take advantage of the plays that Solis didn't capitalize on. That will undoubtedly make the difference here. As we go to game number 3, and the lead in the series is on the line for everybody playing in this. Game 3 on DFH Stadium. Solis and MishMash Gaming, a pretty competitive match here between both these sides. Again, MishMash, such a new team, but they've already proven their defense is actually quite impressive. And again, they're taking a lot of the boost away from Solis. When you talk about team chemistry, there's not much better team chemistry than MishMash, considering that these guys have been playing for a very, very long time. Get up to a goal in 13 seconds here as, again on the demo is Extralex, and he just so happens to run into it too. A little bit of fortune, but the way that MishMash Gaming have been playing, that does not seem too surprising to me. As on the dribble is Velops, one more touch, trying to get out Demon, but it won't go very far as Demon. Oh, he got a piece of this one. He's still getting around defenders. Lena will follow up, but Solis need to get back to the offensive stride that they had before. I mean, they had the offense last game. They just missed on the open nets a couple times, and Blast specifically, I think he had 2 wide open chances that he couldn't score last game. Both of them would have given his team the lead. And I'm sure both of them he feels pretty terrible about, because I mean, with that lead, this whole game, that whole game completely changes. And so, too, you think is the trajectory of this series. As everybody on Solis in the same spot here. This will clear it out as Demon. That's a great second touch. Nobody's covering the back wall. And Solis have no problem jumping in on this as it's Demon to Elena. Oh, he ran into her. And Solis aren't gonna get a chance to shoot that one. Oh man, the unfortunate situations continue here as Demon resets, save away. And Solis, man, so many different plays where just, man, you start thinking, maybe are they destined to not win this series? Because there's been a couple plays here where it's been unfortunate situations. They've done everything right, it feels like. You know, in most of these plays, and fortune has not favored them. Blaz is gonna have to run back here, off the back wall. Lena, side will be Extralex who can't reach, and now Lena's on one, gonna go right up and over Chilla. And Solis tie it at 1 goal each. Lena picking up that full boost and uses every bit of it to get right past Chilla. Speeds the name there, and she really puts her boost into full effect. Solis will stay patiently here as Velops looking for the lead. A little bit of help from the crossbar there to save the ball out, as now it's in front of the net again. Lena, that's a huge block, and Blaz will clear it away. Solis, really out of position here. That net, that backfield looking quite wide open here as Chilla's gonna take all the time he has in this corner. Now Blaz jumping in. Velops, it's over Lena. Demon will beat out Extralex, and Chilla bumped out the way. Lena still will just send it to the back corner. Can't chain dash her way to victory, but it is Blaz anyways. Off the front post, a tough shot to hit, but again, Blaz, with how the series has looked, you know he really wants something, anything to go to the net under his name, because he has not had a goal in a while, considering all the chances he has had in front of that net. Demon will clear again. Velops can't get it, but Extralex right behind. 2 minutes to go this game. A tie scoreline once again. Every game so far has been determined by 1 goal. This is looking like it might follow in that path as Lena clears it. Extralex. Demon is there. Chilla. Lena. Demon will leave this one as in goes Blaz. Extralex, and now Demon. Chilla. Blaz leaves it for Lena. In front of the net, it's Demon. Extralex on the block, Velops the clear. Blaz. Lena off the back wall. Demon will be waiting for it as MishMash Gaming will move again. Lena. Oh, and man, MishMash still keeping up the offense here, but that's a great challenge out, and Lena's in the right spot for this. She'll get that first touch, although Velops is right next to her. Now is Demon looking for Blaz. He'll go up in it. Velops wins out the play. And Hunter X Solis continuing to try to play that offensive side, but and MishMash again winning the challenges, winning the offense. Doesn't feel like there's any real way to easily break down this MishMash midfield, and they've gone better and better every single game at doing this. Solis getting fewer and fewer chances because of it. As Lena, that's a heavy touch. Velops will be waiting. Will be cleared back as Solis trying again from the middle of the field. It is a play, a flip reset. Extralex will keep that one out, but Solis just trying to attack from far, and Lena didn't judge that clear very well. Will have to go back to defense. Extralex getting challenged as Lena, that is dangerously in front of their nets. But a clear away will help him out as that's a big demo. Demon to the corner. No second touch. It will hit the floor, and we go to overtime for a second straight game. Last one ended on a team bump in front of the Solis net. This one, we'll see how things go as good save out from Dev. Velops. Extralex there! It is tucked into the front post! Solis pushed out too fast! And MishMash Gaming, whose midfield has been entirely the better of the two this game, will do it again in overtime. And Solis now, match point against them. Lena, Blaz, Dev, aka Demon. Put under that pressure. That midfield for MishMash Gaming is quite tough to take down, that's for certain. Means we now go to game 4. Knowing that MishMash Gaming can win the series here, win week 1 here. Fortunately for Solis, it's been 2 straight overtimes where they just could not get it done. Looking for anyone to step up. It's going to be Blaz, aka Zay. He's had chances, he's missed opportunities. Been in the right spot most of the time. The shots have just not been there for him. A team like Solis who now need to get as much offense as they can. If Blaz is able to get his shooting, he can open up room for Lena and Demon or Dev and really make things work. As that's a great clear from Dev. Lena behind it is now in the midfield. Develops. Demos from behind is running in. Interference was Dev. Blaz. Not gonna let Extra X have any room here as go again. Musty Flick will set up the play for Dev around the corner. Chilla. Oh, it's in front of the net here. That's a terrible mistake. And Solis were ready to jump onto it. Chilla, that's a very casual touch in front of his own net there. Not moving at full speed when you put the ball in front of your net like that. Your first thing that you're on your mind has to be get that ball away from there. Chilla, he wasn't moving at full space either. That is a huge giveaway. And Solid, I mean, they're not going to put that away as back pass to Extra Lex. Lena will keep it out as here goes the play from Dev. Extra Lex. Develops. The back wall. No second touch, but another demo in front of this net here as Laz will get the block on it. MishMash Gaming have had tons of demos so far, and it's really, I mean, so often we see demos to open up the play. They don't really need to do them to open up the play, they're just doing it to make things awkward for Solis on that rotation. And clearly it's working. Solis have had a couple plays where, I mean, they're just not in the same, they're just in the same spot here as Lena and Demon show exactly that. Both of them rushing to that challenge, and with nobody home, that is a wide open net. In for the net. That's Develops. Ooh, that could have been a goal there. Has been a bit of an errant mistouch right in front of his own goal. Very similar to what we saw Chilla do earlier. Smash still on offense though, and Solis again running low on boost. Chilla. It's a touch that goes straight back to Demon, but unable to get the play out of defense here. Lena will have to get the clear. In fact, actually, that's an open net here. Nobody back for MishMash Gaming. My goodness, that was wide open. And again, wow, MishMash Gaming just completely lose it. I'm sure they were expecting a challenge from Extra Lex, but Extra Lex never went for it, and oh, with 3 minutes now to go. Solis looking to try to force out a game 5, but Chilla not letting them have it! Tied again! And this one's for the replay. Chilla! Oh, that's great! And doesn't waste any time either. That's a beautiful strike. And MishMash will need this one out as Extra Lex. Develops, waiting, flicked up high for Chilla, or at least should be for Chilla, but nobody really there. Solis will be the ones staying back on this though, as Chilla develops, opting not to shoot there. He had an angle, but decided not to take it, and now MishMash Gaming will need to go again. Chilla, no boost, but gonna flick this one in front anyways. At Extra Lex, Laz is keeping it away from the nets, but ooh, 2 players whiff here. Laz gotta be careful. Lena jumps in. Element for Solis. Demon off the corner. Laz will keep it out, and now Solis gonna get some time to breathe here, but they have not had possession for the majority of this game, as MishMash Gaming continue to really hunt down those 50-50s in the midfield. Lena develops. Off the back wall will be cleared away by Dev. Extra Lex. Hit high. Gets the demo too. It's on. It's in for Chilla. I haven't seen this before from Extra Lex, but boy is it creative. Demo's right on Blaz, and he's the one who's going for that touch too. Oh, what a weird play from Extra Lex. I've never seen that before. But it absolutely works, and it's absolutely intentional. And MishMash Gaming now lead by 1 late in Game 4. To win the series, all you need to do is keep this lead. They've done so, and they've proven so far they do pretty well keeping possession, but here's a quick break. Dev has Lena and Blaz in the midfield, but the touch goes off of Chilla and out. Velops. The back corner will be Lena. Who will clear this one. Extra Lex keeps it away. Blaz demoed. Dev will come in to rescue. In fact, a retaliatory demo as well. Lena takes out Chilla. As Solis, the team that made top 8 last season, really facing the pressure here as Demon. On the play, leaves it for Blaz, who really doesn't get a good touch on this one. Extra Lex. Lena dunked away by Extra Lex. It is Blaz up in the air, challenged by Extra Lex. Lena. To the back wall is Lena. Dave can't put it in. It's Blaz to go. Saved by Velops. Right on the goal line. Velops, another huge block. It goes across the net. Lena can't put it in. Blaz past Chilla. Everybody up for MishMash Gaming. But the ball's kept out. And now they'll look to go the other way. Dev keeps it in. Velops. Demo on 1 will leave the room open as Blaz can't get there. Chilla. Well, that's straight back to Lena. MishMash Gaming. Don't get out of defense quickly. Blaz doesn't get that touch. Solis. Not too slow to this one, but they need a chance here. Right now their shots are from outside the box. They've got to get in close. As time will run down here. Solis got to keep this ball alive. Lena can't. And that will end the series. MishMash Gaming. Their first series in the Ascend Tournament Series. And it's a 3-1 win over 100x Solis. What a performance. After losing Game 1. They're winning 2 and 3 in overtime and now winning Game 4. Again by a 1-goal margin. Every single game was decided by 1 goal. MishMash Gaming, their first win of the season. They're hoping to be their first win of many. That chemistry, so tough to counter it. And for Solis, they're a team that's built on chemistry. They just met their matchup here in a team that just does it better than they do. So 3-1, the last scoreline here. What a performance from MishMash Gaming. Yeah, not our only match tonight here. I mean, we're going to see more matches. We're going to see another match later this evening, our first view of the Pinnacle Cup with Midwest Mafia taking on the Evil Burgers. That'll be a great series when it comes, but it is not at this point. It's going to be in a little bit, but what a performance here from MishMash Gaming. 3-1, taking down 100x Solis. Made it look pretty good, too. Like, that is a solid performance from them. Again, a big performance here for MishMash Gaming. Their first win of the season. It was a solid showing for a solid roster. But, again, we're going to end the stream here. We'll be back later with, again, that Pinnacle Cup matchup. For now, though, congrats to MishMash Gaming. Huge performance from them. Very fun to watch them compete here, and I'm hoping we'll get to see more of them this season with the way that they're looking. But for now, have a good night. We'll see you guys again very, very soon with the Pinnacle Cup matchup. But for now, go watch some of the other stuff in ATS. We got a ton of other matches happening here. I know, but Tesla is going to be live in a few minutes. I know who's going to be live. I know Tesla's going to be. I know Ice Cold Brew is going to be live in a little bit. And Averted is going to be live in a little bit. All of them with matchups starting in about 30 minutes from now. So go watch that. For now, have a good night. We'll see you again at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time and in 2 hours with our Pinnacle Cup matchup. See you then.